guys? Bobby Roast Beef here with another episode of Jigs and Bigs. We have one hell of a show for you lined up this week, guys. I did get out on the water. We'll talk about that. It is we're after the first week of the start of the multi-species scavenger hunt, and it has been crazy. Really great turnout so far. We got 15 anglers on the roster. We'll talk about what everybody has going on right now as we kind of get into it, some of the pitfalls that have come up and all that stuff. But man, what a week it has been. We have a little bit of a conversation that needs to be had about a situation that happened recently in Florida involving somebody who threw away a career that was worth $750,000 a year. Can you believe that shit? That is unbelievable. All kinds of details to go over regarding all that situation. Plus, we have some more headlines. A big shakeup in the world of B.A.S. Elite Series angling. Scott Martin making headlines again. We'll talk about that coming up. And we've got information for you regarding tips and gear. All kinds of good stuff for you to be checked out on this week's episode of Jigs and Bigs. Hey, guys, go ahead, get yourself something good to enjoy because we're going to be back in just a bit with more Jigs and Bigs goodness, and you're not going to want to miss it. Come on. I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I think Jay Manning fucking put the cherry on top of this shit Sunday we have going on right now. He goes, springtime shit show weather-wise. God damn, you are so correct, my friend.
It's been absolute garbage.
Hot garbage.
Yeah. Yep.
I was playing this game trying to get out as much as I can. And, it's just like, it seems like every day that works schedule-wise for me, I'm just getting shafted. Like, is just, there's just no winning around it. I did get out a couple of times this week, which was great. I got a couple other things going on that I pulled the plug on a couple of things. So this is, I'll just dive right in. Let's just go ahead and we'll do this. This was a week where I had a couple of things lined up. I do some work for that software company that makes the trivia software that I use, right? Mm-hmm. And I get paid quarterly from them, and it's a commission-based type stuff for like the accounts that I set up and all that. Anyway, I was waiting for this paycheck because remember a few months ago I mentioned how my sister and I were wondering what we should do for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. And we decided we would get a lake house up in New Hampshire for a week. And we bring all of our families and, some friends of our kids and stuff, just have a nice week away on the lake house. I'll take the boat up. My dad and I can do some fishing, take the kids out for rides, like all kinds of stuff. We'll just have a great time. Well, I am proud to say I owe my sister zero money for that any longer. And holy shit, I feel like I got away with murder. Oh my God. It is so, like, I've owed some people some money, some people that maybe you don't want to owe money to, as young, when I made some mistakes earlier on in life, there is nobody I want to owe money to less than my sister. Oh my God. I love her, but holy shit. But hey, everything's good. But here's the thing. I didn't realize the progress that I had made paying this down. So I had a little bit of extra money to play with this month that came in. And I was like, well, kind of been throwing the idea around that, like I said, I want to start kind of like guiding people on the water, but not just like, oh, get us on fish. Like I want to like teach some techniques. And one of the things that I feel like I've got a nice little grasp on is BFS fishing. So why not throw another BFS combo into the mix? And then even when I'm fishing with my friends that are like, hey, what are you getting them on? And I'm like, this wicked light stuff that it's very difficult for you to throw on, this conventional gear. This can kind of like open that door of like, wow, this is a really fucking nice thing. It's fun, it's efficient, and it's just a blast catching fish on. So I made a purchase. I'm not going to get into the rod. It is a custom rod. I'll give the details after I get it in hand. But I did pick up the new Daiwa Tatula BFS reel. And I was bouncing around between a few. I was actually looking at the Arc Gravity reel, which gets really, really good reviews. And then there was another one. Oh, it was a Corrado. Now, I've known a lot of people that have had a Corrado, but I've been hearing that there's a mod that some people have been doing.
And I didn't do the mod. That's what I had.
Yeah,
or have.
You're one of them. You and Topless Timmy Jakes was another one. But Topless Timmy Jakes also got the Tatula, and he's like, dude, holy crap, I love this reel. So he was like, yeah, he goes, you might want to look into this. And I'm like, I'm gonna create a little combo here, do a little something. So I put all that together. So that is, I'm just waiting on delivery. And I'm hoping, I don't think I'm going to have the rod in time for St. Clair, but I will be using that reel on the Majestic XT. And yeah, it'll be pretty freaking badass. I'm freaking stoked. So that was like one of the major things that I did. I did get out and do some fishing. Like I said in the intro, the scavenger hunt series is on. It's been crazy. In fact, I think we've got over 60 fish in total that folks have entered in the first 7 days. We have 15 anglers that are enrolled and registered, and there's 10 of them that have put on fish. So a couple of these bags are actually pretty good. So before we get into any of the other stuff, let me go through like what the standings are for this, because you can still register now. We've been having folks register. In fact, I believe that I changed the dates. Like now you can register all the way to the last day. Like if you want to enter, that's your business. You know, some people are just having an amazing day and they're like, oh, I'm going to get in on it now. Okay. And my hope is that folks can enter whenever the hell they want to enter. And if they enjoy it, they can say, you know what? It probably would be a better decision if I planned ahead and did this and got the whole month. You know what I mean? So if that's what it takes to get folks in here, I'd love to do it. But so let's talk about, we have the top 10 anglers that have put in fish. So we got Liam van Valkenburg. He put in a channel catfish, so he's got a point right there. We have, is it a three-way tie at 2 points? We've got Robbie Munier, who put in a rainbow trout and a brook trout. Ian Jamerson from New Mexico. He's our first New Mexico resident competing in the scavenger hunt, which is awesome. I love that because I like seeing the geography expand. I think that's great. He put in a rainbow trout and a nice carp too, so he's got 2 points there. Our favorite sub-teenager absolute menace. I was
just going to ask if he's in there.
Oh, he is. Brody Davis is here. He put in a nice brown trout and a largemouth. He's got 2 points. And then we got Steve Galloway put in a largemouth, a northern pike, and a smallmouth. He's got 3 points. Now, one of those picks, now Steven's been killing it. There was actually another largemouth. I think it was his largemouth that he entered. But he does multiple tournaments, and he entered his first fish on that new Yak Attack measuring board. And I haven't approved that yet as a standard one. And I was like, dude, I got to decline that. I got to DQ that fish because we're not using that board. But I'm going to get my hands on one and test the rigidity on its own and then see about adding that for future months and just making a change to the rules. And also it's going to depend on how many people are using it too. So, I mean, Steven's just killing it right there. He's got 3 points. I have 3 points. I managed to catch a pickerel and a largemouth. And on Saturday, I'll get to Saturday. So the pickerel and largemouth were both caught on Tuesday. So it was a good day. I got out, made some stuff happen, and caught these 2 fish. It was actually a pretty decent day. Like I was doing pretty good numbers, but where I was, it's all these like cookie cutter type fish, these little nibbler bass and like little slime darts. The pickerel I got was pretty decent. I want to say it was like 14 and a half. Decent for over there. I've caught much bigger ones, but Kevin Mahoney also has 3 points. He's got a crappie in there, a sunfish, and a yellow perch. Then we get up to John Higgins. John Higgins is in third right now. He's got 5 points. He's got a smallie, he's got a crappie, he's got a sunfish, a channel cat, and a rainbow trout. Tim Behan. Now these are big guns right here. We got right now tied up in first place. We've got Tim Behan and Jay Stevens. Tim Behan's got 8 points with a rainbow trout, a sunfish, a channel, a white perch, a yellow perch, a bullhead catfish, a largemouth, and a crappie. Jay Stevens has a yellow perch, a bullhead, a pickerel, a sunfish, a largemouth, a northern pike, a smallmouth, and a crappie, making up his 8 points. Yeah, so I mean, like it's 7 days on the nose, and it's freaking insane that already this is off to an amazing start. And April can be kind of slow going. It's those last 2 weeks of April that I feel like things heat up pretty good. So who knows what's going to happen? So I'm pretty stoked. Things are good. So my outings, like I said, I went out Tuesday and I headed out to just Congamon Junior. I was like, we're going to make things nice and easy. Go out, do some fishing. Monday, I got all the stuff that I needed to get done for the week all planned out. Everything was good. Tuesday, I went out and I hit it, and it was a fun day. It was a really fun day. Now, again, the stocking trucks had only just recently gone through a lot of these ponds.
Yeah.
Dude, the bank pressure is crazy. People are all over the bank. It's just insane. I've seen more people trolling over at Congamon Junior more in the last week, really, than I have in a long time. Like, you don't see a lot of trollers over there. It's not a large place, so I don't know. It's a little interesting, but so I saw some folks out there. It was all good. I had this plan. I think it was Thursday. I went out to check out the ramp over at Oxbow, and it was open. I'm like, okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm like
surprised that thing is so swollen right now.
Well, Thursday it wasn't that bad. Like, the water line came up like high on the ramp, but it wasn't like into the parking lot.
Sure.
And I'm like, so things look good. So I text Paul and I was like, hey, bud, Saturday we're supposed to get some rain. I just want to go and flip those trees, man. We only have a certain window where the water level is going to be high enough where all that timber is flooded. And I'm like, I just want to know what that's like. Let's go ahead and do it. And he's like, all right, cool. Let's do it. He's like, I got a movie to go see. Spoiler alert. He went to go see, what movie was it? Minecraft with his daughters. And
Emma went with my aunt.
Did she have the same reaction as he did?
No, she loves it. I mean, she's 6, she's
the kids, I guess, loved it. Paul was just like, oh yeah. That's pretty much. He was like, this was hot garbage. I was like, well, that movie's not for us, Paul. So he's like, I just got to be off the water and back home for 4 to pick them up. I was like, sounds good, dude. Let's go ahead and we'll send it. I was like, I figure we're going to fish till like maybe lunch. I'm like, we'll go get some barbecue. Why don't we go do that? So we he meets me here. It's like 6:30. We head out. We go over to the launch, and it's just in the amount of time between I first checked and the gate was open. Now that water had come way the fuck up, and I'm like,
really?
Yeah. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
They must have released some.
It came up so high that they locked the gate again. On Sunday, I think it was Sunday, I went back to go take a peek and the gate was locked. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. No. It was this morning when I drove by. Okay. I came by today and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, they locked it back up. Holy crap. Like, yeah, it was insane. And I told Paul, I was like, I bet you I could launch this boat. Loading it back is going to be a problem. And I think for that reason, we're not going to bother. So we ended up going back to Congamon Junior. I'm like, well, what do we want to do? I was like, do I want to go and I'm like, I just need to catch some species. I'm like, I'm not looking to eat up any time doing too much driving. So we went back there and I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go and throw a bunch of shit. My other alternative was to go to the Swift River. But Paul brings only his power fishing gear lately, is how it is. And I'm like, all right, so that's not going to fly. So I was like, all right, let's just go ahead and we'll do this. We'll head out. We'll throw some freaking baits around and see what we can do. Dude, we lit them the fuck up on Saturday.
Oh, awesome.
We did. We lit them the fuck up. It was crazy. So it was cold, and I was like, I had a feeling that it was going to be a little bit more, there was that cold was going to fire them up a little bit. And it definitely did. It was a whole other ballgame. Instead of like trying to like pull teeth to get bit like I did on Tuesday, I was able to just dial in a specific pattern and then figure out what it was that they wanted. And I was just like, bing, bing, bing. It was so many dink bass that weren't going to do me any good, and pickerel that were just no fucking good to me at all in this, except for one tiny bluegill. One bluegill that happened to take a swipe at my presentation. And I'm like, oh yeah, done deal. I think 7 3/4 inches. I'm like, you just made my day. We absolutely deserve barbecue after this. Paul caught a couple of decent ones. He caught a nice big old slime dart on a swim bait on a Kitech. And and it was crazy. Like they were just hungry. Like this is the first like what I would consider like almost like pre-spawn activity, like where they were like chasing. It was pretty, because when I was there Tuesday, I was catching them on a micro jig, and it was as it would hit on the bottom, and it was all shallow, and I would just let it sit there, it'd get picked up, I could jack the jaw, and we're good to go. When it comes to Sunday, or when it came to Saturday, it was all moving presentations, and it was just finding just the right bit that they were looking for, and fucking Bronco Blade proved to get it done. It just fucking killed it. And I was like, let's just go. We'll cover as much water as we can, make some shit happen. There was one dude that I wanted to put in for FTG, but I don't know what his deal was. If he had like what he thought was like a can of bad gas and felt the need to burn it off, or so, I don't know. He was in his boat, and where we were was on the back end, and no other boats had crossed over to where we were. Like, it was like slick calm in this one area where we heard nobody at all. Everybody is out on the deep spot, like looking for those trout, I think, for the most part. Then out of nowhere, from even further back, we hear this boat just coming full bore, just full up on plane, just cruising. And I'm like, I wonder if that guy is aware of how shallow it is where he's going. I fully expected to hear gunk, and he was going to take a chunk of his prop off, but he apparently knew. I don't know. I'm guessing he must have lived on the lake and was like, let's take it out. And he would just again, like just doing donuts, like just burning gas for the sake of burning gas. So it was interesting. We got that done. We then got off of the water and then went to Pit Stop Barbecue. It's my favorite place. And I was surprised when we pulled into a parking lot and there was
a goddamn monster truck in the parking lot.
No bullshit, a legit monster truck. Had their logo on the door. I took a little bit of video of it and I posted it on Instagram on Saturday night. And I'm like, this is freaking cool. Unbelievable. And normally when I go there, I'm a big fan of their brisket. And I was just like, I'm feeling ribs, dude. I'm feeling ribs. So I got some ribs with some of their collard greens. Oh, my God. Out of this world. Out of this world. And then, just kind of chilled at home the rest of that night. Got a couple things done. Did a little bit of research onto one of the subjects we're going to talk about in headlines right now. It kind of doubles as the FTG. You guys probably already know what it's about. But it was a nice chill night. And then on Sunday, I bumped into my folks. They showed up at the spot where I do trivia on Sunday night, and it was nice seeing them. They actually did pretty damn good. They probably got more points that night than all the other times they've played trivia with me in the past.
Oh, no shit.
I mean, they were still in last place, but they did absolutely great. They did.
I mean, they still sucked. They just sucked a little less.
No, but like there were moments where they were in the top 3, and I was like, you guys are going to fucking do this. Good for you. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So then, came home, got up today, got a couple things lined up for this week. I'm thinking that Wednesday and Thursday will probably be the days that I'm going to try to send it. For the weekdays, I'm probably going to go out Sunday morning. That's what I'm thinking, because I have an event on. I have an event that I'm doing. It's a birthday party for somebody that we know together. I can't mention it because it's a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we know together. But they are absolutely awesome, and I'm just like, I don't want to go and be exhausted at the event when I've got to entertain like 40 or 50 people. I'm like, let's just we'll go. We'll take Saturday. We'll scrap that, because I was thinking about going up to the Cape. That'll be no good. That'll be no good at all. So
thanks.
I probably won't get up to the Cape until May.
Okay.
Maybe the last weekend. Maybe the last weekend.
Yeah, because you got St. Clair.
Yeah, St. Clair's coming. And that's 11 days as of today. Freaking crazy. Freaking crazy.
What's the date today? I got about 19 days till less than that. Yeah, like 18 days until I hit the road for Georgia.
No shit.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so you're the following weekend then.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep. You're going to freaking have a blast, dude.
I hope so.
Regardless of that tournament, I can only, you and Taylor are going to have an absolute. And by the way, we talked about that new bait, the Shiv that's coming. Mm-hmm. I saw some of the stuff. Holy shit! It is aptly named.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Oh,
that's what we might be talking about then in another segment. Not mean.
Okay. That's good to know. let's go ahead. Let's jump through and catch up with some because the G-Cans are on fire tonight.
They are.
They are on fire tonight. John Hagan says he put a channel on the board. Every fish I get now will be hard earned. Absolutely. So everything's blown out in chocolate milk here. It's very similar to what's going on here. There's nothing worse than owing Guido and the boys money. It's true. It's true. Hey, John, nice picks this week. Jay Manning chimes in. And then we got Jay Manning says, the Broadster. And then Cheryl Bentley is with us again. How we doing, Cheryl? Good to have you on. You are registered in the tournaments too, I believe. I think I saw your name in there. That's pretty badass. Oh, John says he has a Pit Stop barbecue there, too. Is it the St. Louis ribs that they have? It's delicious. I don't think this is a chain, though. Like, Pit Stop barbecue is like the most generic barbecue name you can give yourself. Yeah. But I think there's a reason because it conjures up the right kind of imagery and the branding and everything else. These are, I want to say that they are St. Louis ribs, but I'm willing to bet that they are absolutely totally, like this place is open for breakfast and does like brisket, egg and cheese sandwiches and shit like that. Like I'm telling you, man, like if you're like, hey, I'm a little early for work today, slide in there and grab yourself a breakfast Sammy.
You know where you're gonna find the best St. Louis ribs?
Where at St. Louis?
Paps in St. Louis. Dude, so this place, so I went there, I was there in like 2016. I was at school for work I was there for like 3 months. And we went to this place and with some military buddies, and we sit down and like the table's like right here. Like it's at chest level. I'm like, it's like, what the fuck? I was like, do we have the wrong chairs? Like, and
that's awesome.
Finally,
like a bunch of little kids,
dude. And that's what it was. And one of the waiter people that worked there walked by. I go, hey, do we have the wrong chairs? She's like, what do you mean? Like, looked at me like I was like the biggest asshole.
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like, I don't know. These tables are just kind of high. She's like, yeah, so you can shovel the food in your mouth easier. I'm like, okay,
that's
like,
genius.
So that's why they have it like that. So you're closer to your mouth.
So you're just like,
Yep.
Oh man, it was so friggin' funny. Tim Behan says tiger trouts were stocked in today. That's awesome. Haven't caught a tiger in a little while. Cheryl says, no fishing this weekend. Nothing on the board yet. Terrible weather. Got my new kayak carrier installed on the car rooftop, ready to go. I love that.
So before I get into my week, did you see what they stocked in the Quabbin?
Somebody mentioned this to me, but I forget. What is it?
A shit ton of walleye to include breeders.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Big walleye.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like
they don't stock walleye around here often that I'm aware of.
That I don't like. Not in. They haven't since I was maybe a kid, Bobby.
That's what I'm
maybe
saying,
when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Who was it? There was a body of water in Connecticut that I had fished. You know what it was? It was when it was that Camp Hooksett when we all fished there. That spot had walleyes that were stocked in like the late 70s.
Yep.
And they just took. Like they were able, they were able to make it. It's kind of crazy, man.
I just want to make sure I didn't have this wrong.
Jay Manning says AI. Could be.
Dang, I got to
shut the fuck up.
I'm not finding it now, but I'm like 90% sure it was Quabbin because I was like, what the hell? I saw it on Facebook or something, and I can't find anything while Googling it real quick.
I feel like there are some anglers that would get just absolutely irate about it affecting the trout
like
species.
I was very surprised.
Yeah,
I want to say it was like Mass Wildlife but anyway, so I'll try to verify. But I looked. I actually meant to send it to you.
No
I
shit.
just forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody had mentioned something about Quabbin stalking to me, and I was like, oh, no kidding. A lot of people that mention Quabbin to me immediately goes right over my head because I'm like, I can't take my kayak there. I can't take my boat there.
Right.
I know I could go and rent a boat, but like, why now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why? What's the appeal? And I'll be perfectly honest with you. Like, I have had meh experiences fishing Quabbin.
Yeah, it's dude, it's so deep. It's just such a crazy fishery. Yeah, it's unless you have like you see that the people that now I can't find it. It's gonna piss me off, and maybe I dreamt it. I don't know, but yeah, it's people who have their Quabbin boats now.
Yep.
You should see they have more electronics that are worth more than the boats because that's. You have to see really see those contours and where those fish are going to be.
Oh, absolutely. And
I
you
might
know,
have totally lied.
maybe I'm
a complete liar. Maybe I saw it somewhere else.
something else cool happened this week too, though. While I'm thinking about it, Joe, I'm in the middle of doing trivia on Friday. Right, it was my only trivia at Casa de Lisa, and Sean the fisherman walks in. Which
okay.
I haven't seen Sean in person in a while, and he comes in. And which is kind of a surprise, but not really considering he lives in that town. So it's not, entirely like that crazy. But he comes in with Chris Mellowship.
Really?
Yeah. They were going out and doing some fishing, going up to Nibblerama up the Shears.
Oh, that's right. Chris did tell me that when I talked to him recently.
It was so good to see him. I was like, this is freaking absolutely awesome. So I talked to him a little bit. I was like, I'm not going to drop the ball this year. I'm going up to the St. Lawrence. It's 100% happening. So I think what we should probably do is one of those trips that you're going up there. Let's just both go up and maybe we'll do something with like listeners, or we'll take, what we'll do? We'll take the Mellowships. One of us will take Chris, one will take Christina. We'll have a little tournament.
Hell yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Yep. I did find it. They did stock.
They did. The walleyes. No shit.
And
fucking
hold on. I'm just gonna text you this. This is one of the and this came from the Quabbin anglers page.
Quabbin is so like out of this world. Like there's a lot of people from around the country. Like there are people that I was at the holy shit. That's from Quabbin? Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the breeders they put. So this kid, I don't know who this is, but he was with the stocking truck and they put a ton of fingerlings in and some breeders. So
that's amazing, dude. That's awesome. But yeah, I've had people mention Quabbin to me, like when they'll ask, oh yeah, where are you guys based out of? And I'll tell them, Massachusetts. And they're like, you got that big reservoir there, Quabbin? It's like, and I was like, yeah, we do. Kind of sucks.
Yep.
Jay Manning says, make sure it's not an April Fool's joke.
God damn it. I wonder if it is.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
So, Bobby, can I address the elephant in the room?
Let's do that. I think it's a great idea.
Listeners, I am going to be the first one to tell you that I apologize for the story that I gave last week that I dumbly fell for an April Fool's joke, and from the PETA story about the fish, about the robotic fish.
I don't think that was your fault.
I can't believe, Bobby made me aware of it, and I'm like, because I remember I was like, I can't believe this is real. Like during
both of us were like,
it wasn't.
Fuck? Yeah.
It wasn't. So
yeah.
I promise I'm not a complete idiot, and I will admit when I'm wrong, and that was stupid, and I apologize.
So I will say, but to your defense, and I want to throw this out there, we recorded that show on March 31st at 7 p.m. I don't know when you acquired that story, but it was before we recorded, right?
Yeah.
So in my ruling,
that was just a lie.
That wasn't an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, no, just
how do you do an April Fool's joke in March, guys? I don't think, and had it been released on April 1st, or we had recorded after April Fool's Day, we got the information that way, I would have said 100%. I would have been like, something's a little funny with this. But because I'm like, oh, obviously you got this in advance. Yeah. So to PETA, very funny, but it's unsportsmanlike conduct when it comes to April Fools. I'm
Confirmed.
calling it. I'm calling
The
it.
Quabbin was also April Fool's.
Oh,
so
was it?
Oh God, you know what? We're not doing headlines anymore. Like for the first couple weeks of April.
Yeah, we're gonna call it we're gonna call it pre-spawn headline.
Yeah,
It'll be like
We're
dry
going darker than-
January. Yeah.
I am now 40, so apparently I'm just way more gullible and just like, it looks real. God damn it.
I'm so confused by the internet. God damn it.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, everybody.
So,
But
Cheryl goes, "No, I relayed that story to a few people."
no, just let them think it.
yeah.
If you guys relay it to other people, just go
with it.
Just go with it.
Actually,
go
double
with
down.
it.
Commit hard. You know, go.
Yep. Yep.
Let's protest.
Confidence always wins.
These robots. Let's protest these robots by
Having a steak for PETA.
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
Speaking of steak, I just made the most amazing ribeye. My wife and I made steak salads tonight. Oh my! And you know what it was? It was that garlic oil that I used. Oh my God, dude!
I did steak
my
stir
God.
fry tonight.
Nice. See, great
Yeah.
minds. Great minds.
Yep.
My God.
You want me to tell you about my week real quick?
I would love to hear about your week.
All right. So my week was not very fishy. I did not fish at all. Here's why. We all heard about my catastrophe at my tournament, which I'm going to be dropping a video soon about that. I was sitting, I think it was Tuesday. I texted John. I was like, because I don't know if you remember, we had the conversation down in Columbus when I said I was talking to this Icon guy, and he told me the ways to get a little bit of speed out of it, a little bit more speed out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember me telling you that. So finally, I was like, you know what? I texted John down at JCS Marine. I go, hey, can you order these and put them on? They're 2 degree wedges for the trans, or for that go between the trans and the jack plate. He's like, can you bring it tomorrow? I said, yep.
Fuck it.
Took the day off. Brought it down to John. And let me tell you, his new shop is phenomenal.
I'm sure it is.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't been down there yet.
Oh my goodness. So scam likely calling me. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. But so remember, if you're looking at if you're looking at his building from the front and you like look directly to your right and there's another one there.
Yeah.
That's where he is. That's where he is
in
now.
there. Okay.
And it's so crazy because from the outside, it looks smaller. But you go in, dude, and it's so much bigger.
No shit.
Absolutely. He probably had 20 plus boats in there that they were working on.
No kidding.
Plus some on the outside. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
And his little tackle shop in the front is awesome. You walk into the tackle shop first. He has, who he has like all the stuff of is Oliver's. He has like all of Oliver's stuff in there. Yeah.
Oh,
so
no
he has
shit. That's
the
awesome.
Defiant braid and everything.
Yep.
So
that's badass.
but so hopefully he said that'll be done, midweek this week. I'll pick that up. I'll probably have to wait till Friday to pick it up. And then I'm going to be going from Rhode Island to the Cape for my next tournament.
Yep.
And, so I'll be, staying there Friday to fish on the absolutely atrocious day that it's looking like it's going to be on Saturday weather-wise.
And I am looking at the weather moving forward, and I find myself as the hours get closer to when I'm heading out, I'm like, is that rain going to push off? And I get it, April showers and shit, but yeah, you're going to be in like the thick of it, like right in the morning.
Yeah, I keep checking it. Like I've been checking it like twice a day. Like, you know what? I can sit there. I'll get wet, like whatever but the wind's not going to be, as of right now, it looks like the wind's not going to be crazy. So that
good.
makes me happy.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah. So
Dang.
that's my week. Not much there, but I can't wait to see. I got a couple things to get a little bit more speed out of the Icon. So we'll see how it works.
I just got a text right now from the one and only Nick DeShane with a St. Clair weather report. I love this. I announce I'm going somewhere, and all this information comes along. It's great. Yeah, cold. It's going to be cold. We're on a similar line of latitude, and we're going to run into that. Yeah, they're going to get real cold temps overnight. Tomorrow night's going to be real cold here, man. It's going to suck.
Yep.
We'll see what happens, man, but it could be
still
very
using the
interesting.
pellet stove, dude. Like, usually that shit's been off for a while by now.
We shut the heat off on like Tuesday night, and because it was beautiful, and my wife's like, "Yeah, we'll just shut it off. We'll be fine. It'll be no big deal." This morning, after I got home from dropping off my daughter at school, I got back in and I was like, man, it's cold in here. I looked, it was 58 degrees in the house. I'm like, I'm turning this shit back on, you know?
Yeah.
At least for a little while, and then we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, it'll be another week or two, and then it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The week that I'll be in St. Clair that weekend, I think is going to actually play really, really nicely. If things move the way that I'm looking at, the way they're projected to, I think we'll be in a really, really good spot. We'll have a nice, stable fucking weather pattern for a little bit, and then who knows?
Yep.
Fuck. That is fucking wild, dude. I do have a Just the Tip that I just thought of for this week's show. That's a good one. Yep. Content creators are going to want to stick around for this one.
Perfect.
It's good. A little modification. Did some learning here. We got Eli Selfin here. He says, "What up, boys?" He says, "The school I teach at half town is half flooded." Oh my God. And he says, "Can't stay on. Hopefully I can hop on later." Awesome, Eli. Good to have you on. And then John says, "OT looks like temps and weather is going to stabilize after this weekend in Ohio, at least. And that front just passed here, and the temps dropped fast in the last hour." Oh, I believe it, man. I believe it. It's freaking insane, dude. It's insane. What do you say we do these headlines? Get into it.
Yep.
All right. All right.
So anyone that fishes or knows anything about fishing or is on the internet knows the name Brock Horner.
Fuck that guy.
He is so let's bring it back to the two walleye fishermen that, had the weights and the fish. Brock took the heat off of them this past week.
He really did.
He took the heat off them. He is the newest, worst fisherman on the planet. And let me set the stage here, and then we're gonna. I have the video, but we're gonna listen to the interactions. About 4 minutes. Brock is the world's the best goddamn effing charter captain you'll ever meet. Just so you know. He lets you know that in the video. So Brock was, this is the Florida area. He was a tarpon charter captain, and this video is the GoPro of a 16 or 17-year-old teenager who's just out there by himself fishing, having a good old time.
I think he's a little older than that.
I thought he was 17.
Oh, I thought he was a little older.
Because he keeps saying like, dude, I'm just a kid. A kid. Okay, I would have to double check that, but that was the last thing, because it says teenage kid. But anywho, so there's an interaction there in the morning before where this kid was there in his boat, but Brock had a negative interaction with another boat, and Brock thought that this kid, when he saw him later in the evening, was that boat and was trying to, confront him about the incident, where the kid was just trying to say like, dude, that wasn't me. Like, just get it in. He was trying to de-escalate the situation the entire time. So let me get this going here. Let me just present. Make sure you guys all can hear it.
There we go.
And here we go. Buckle up, everybody. There is some foul language on here. Just be ready for that.
The other morning?
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cussing me out?
Nah, that was the dude in that boat. Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there.
You were cussing me out, dude.
Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the fucking night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here. The fucking...
He didn't have any lights on.
All right, bro, I'm not going to do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna fucking do this with you, bro. Like, it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro, you can't come flying through the middle of the fucking bridge, bro.
Bullshit! Yes, I can!
All right, bro. What are you trying to do, bro?
What am I trying to...
What are you trying to do, bro?
You want to fucking go?
I don't want to fucking go. I want you to get the fuck out of here.
Big tough guy?
Tough guy? You pulled up on me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
Nah, shit. I'm fishing, you fucking... Like, bro, get out of here. Like, what? What are you trying to do? Act like a tough guy in front of your buddies?
No, I'm not. Dude, all these motherfuckers know I'm tough, motherfucker.
Bro, all right, bro.
You know what?
Get going, bro.
We're all fucking war veterans. We're all raised.
Well, thank you for your service, bro.
And you're gonna talk shit.
Thank you for your service, bro. But that doesn't give you the right.
I'm gonna stop it right there and say he deployed with the army as an administrative like person. He was not a ranger, nothing like that. So I just want to make that very clear.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
because there have been conflicting. His lawyer actually said he was a combat veteran. His lawyer put out a fucking statement.
Yeah. Sure. So if he deployed in a hostile area in Afghanistan, but he was not
qualify.
a ranger.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Million pussy ass fuck.
All right, bro. All right, whatever. I appreciate you for your service, bro. But you don't got to run through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Dude, if your guy doesn't have his fucking lights
That's not my guy, bro. That's just another fucking dude, bro.
you have to have lights on.
My lights were on, bro.
Motherfucking lights.
My lights were on.
Somebody hits you, guess what the fuck happens? You die, nothing happens to me.
Right, okay, bro. Keep thinking that.
No, that's the fucking truth, dude.
All right, bro. Keep thinking that.
Put your fucking lights on.
Bro, my lights were on. I wasn't sitting there. Okay, that's not my dude, bro.
Cuss me the fuck out for it.
Bro, I said, bro, you almost fucking hit him. The other dude was fucking cussing you out.
I almost hit him because he didn't have his motherfucking lights on.
Bro, you shouldn't come flying through the middle of the bridge. You know people fish here, bro.
Dude,
I'm sorry, man. I don't know if that's what you want to hear, bro.
yeah, you should apologize, motherfucker.
But, bro,
On the water more than you can possibly fathom, and you're wild
me
motherfucking truth.
Me too, bro. I'm out here all the time, bro.
I'm 300 days a year on the motherfucking water.
All right,
Every
bro.
day, I'm the best
So he
charter
just made
captain
his way
you will
over to
ever
the other
be
kid's
in your
boat.
motherfucking life.
All right, bro.
If you cuss me out.
And now he's popping
Chill,
on
bro.
his boat.
Chill, bro. Please, bro.
Don't hit the fucking fire.
Please, okay, please, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Bro, I'm a kid, bro. Please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me the fuck out.
All right, bro.
In the middle of the
No, bro. Please, bro. Please,
Get back to my
bro.
boat.
Okay. Please.
Fucking apologize.
I'm sorry, bro. That was not me, bro.
Yes, it was,
I know I was
motherfucker.
here, but my buddy was
Take
on the
me
boat.
back to my
Yes,
fucking
sir.
boat.
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me
Yes,
the fuck
sir.
out.
All
and
right.
Talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it.
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't like cussing you out,
Yes,
though, bro.
you were, dude.
I was driving the boat.
Did
Okay.
you not call me a fucking faggot?
No, bro.
Yes,
that
you
was
did, motherfucker.
my friend on the. Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry, bro.
That was your friend on the boat.
I'm sorry, bro.
You and your motherfucking friend are looking at it and come
Yes,
on your
sir.
boat and fuck you both up.
Yes, sir.
Do it again and watch what fucking happens.
Get back on this boat.
Don't fucking do it again.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Fucking the wrong motherfucker, dude.
Bro, yes, sir.
All right, so the video ends there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. So let's unpack this, Bobby. Oh, so
Yeah.
Let me say this first. So obviously this went viral instantly.
Oh, it took no time. Yeah.
It took no time. Here's what happened within 48 hours of this video being released. Mr. Brock Horner is no longer a licensed charter fishing captain. His page, all of his pages were taken down. He did a small like bullshit apology on Instagram that literally just said, "I apologize for my actions." And then on what was it? 2 days after this happened, he was arrested and charged with burglary with assault or battery. And burglary being
Piracy.
we're in Florida, you're on waters, you're on you're on the water. So it was actually burglary for him to jump on to this kid's boat.
Private property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I didn't say it, but you can see in the video, he actually quickly grabs this kid by the shirt. So the best part is Mr. Brock Horner has a lengthy rap sheet as well. Everything from DUI to, I think it was like domestic battery.
Oh, dude. Yeah. It's all over the place.
It was, stemming from like 20 years. So Mr. Brock Horner is no longer a charter captain. I'm pretty confident in saying he will no longer ever be one, or at least he's definitely not the best goddamn charter captain will ever meet anymore. Good on the kid. Good. So go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's put in a preference like what he lost in this. Just going off of the numbers alone. He said he's out there for 300 days a year. Okay,
300 days a year.
Let's make the assumption that those are full day trips that he's doing. Yep. And I did a little bit of research before everything went bye bye. Mm-hmm. His full day rate is $2,500. And if you do the math, that is $750,000 annually.
Yep. And like even if you cut that in half, only half of those are the charters and the rest or full days, and he's just out there like kind of on his own doing shit. He's still well into six figures.
You're making plenty of money at that point, and you're just literally kissing it goodbye. Like, that's what I think bothers me the most about this whole situation is this is clearly somebody who is not thinking of his business or his long-term well-being for whomever he has to provide for,
Right.
Let's be honest. I'm sure this guy's got the fucking alimony and shit, because I can't imagine somebody being fucking actually married to this guy.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Or not for very long. So like, all that. So he's probably going to need that income. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's crazy because the other thing that kind of pissed me off with this is, it's one thing to throw words around. The kid's like, dude, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. There was 3 other cats in that boat that just like sat there like cowards, like with their backs turned, just like didn't try to de-escalate the situation any way whatsoever. The only time I heard them was at the end. You can kind of hear one say, dude, just get back on the boat.
So there's a little bit of confusion as to who those guys are, because I've heard it reported that one of them was like a content guy that works for him. Yeah, that was recording stuff for either the socials or his website. Yeah. And then I heard that they were all just friends, and he was just on the water. And then I heard that they were clients. Yeah. And dude, if they were clients, and you can see in the video if you look back, because I've watched this way too many times, but if you can see most of them are looking straight down, like at their phones or something. Like, I don't want to fucking be here. Could you imagine if you had paid for something like that, like a service to go out with somebody for their experience on the water, and then they flip out like this over some bullshit that was obviously a miscommunication? That's a very awkward position to be put in as a customer, and really, are you gonna approach about like, hey, motherfucker, you're refunding every fucking penny right now. I'm just gonna take it up with my credit card company and let them fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not gonna want to deal with this maniac.
Allegedly, one of the guys that were on that boat released a video. That was a rumor I heard. I have yet been able to find it, or I have seen it. Someone said it might be on TikTok, and I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's tough to search shit on TikTok. So unless it comes through your feed, you might not ever see it. But supposedly it was he released it. I don't know what the details were. I don't know what his take on it was or spin, but I will. I'm going to try to, like I said, I tried to search on TikTok a bit. I was unable to come across it. So I don't know.
So here's a little twist. We have a listener of the show that has some family right in that area. and knows both parties involved.
Interesting.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, and so,
like the kid and okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the relationship is or how they know the kid, but they know both parties, and they're into fishing and everything as well.
Sure.
And so Brock has a reputation already as far as being an absolute despicable human being. Like, awful.
Okay.
His rap sheet kind of tells you everything that you sort of need to know about him and everything. The kid is a douche as well, apparently. Like, I get it. In this situation,
Any kid that says bro that much probably is.
100%. That was when I showed my wife this video. Oh my gosh, she got all fired up. And she's like, why is he fucking talking like that? What the fuck is his problem? Because I'll tell you what, after looking at it again and going through a number of times, like, he got real respectful when homie got on the boat. Yeah. He wasn't exactly fucking. Granted, he was, I'm sure, standing his ground and everything.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he I think he was like if someone comes at me and I didn't do anything and he's like talk to me like that, I'm not going to cower down to him. I'm going to say it's the same kind of shit that he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And of course, I'm sure he's thinking, well, this guy's not going to come onto my boat. Like, that's crazy. But hey.
I know I would have.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Gage, but
we live in a fucking wild world, buddy.
Like, I'm just saying, like, he even used the phrase, like, what do you want to do? I'm like, don't poke the bear, man. Like, for real, you know that, like, de-escalate the situation, which is when the guy got on the boat, like, that's what he tried to do. That was too late. You need to start right from the get-go and de-escalate that shit right away. Like, obviously, this guy's out of his mind and confused about the situation. I mean, he also repeatedly told him, like, that wasn't me. That was the other boat. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I know if he jumped on my boat, I would have knocked his teeth out of my gunnel, but that's just me.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, like... It's just a wild scenario to play out at all, you know? Absolutely unbelievable. I don't think Gage was wrong in anything that he did necessarily. I think Brock finally fucking, and it's, you know, I'll tell you. So when I saw this story first, kind of with this video get released, it was on an Instagram post, and I forget which account had shared it. It was like a repost. And I commented in it, and I said, wow, that seems like a really, really great way to lose your captain's license and your livelihood. I can't
believe he still had it after he had multiple duties.
All that other shit. Yeah, absolutely. You know what it was? I think it's that his biggest thing was it hadn't gone viral. You know, now they're shining a light on it, and there's eyes on this one guy. Of course, they're like, what are they going to do? Of course they're going to. And you know what's the number one thing that people responded with? Were like, oh, jumping on somebody's boat, that's a good way to lose your life. And I was like, true, except that he didn't. So unless you've got a time machine and you're going to go back, that argument is no. It doesn't matter. He didn't lose his life. So really, all he's doing is deconstructing his own income. You know, his ability, I mean, I have to assume, I mean, if I was making that kind of money, that would be the only job I would do. I wouldn't be working for somebody else. And now, good luck trying to get a job elsewhere.
Oh, no. Yeah, that dude is
How are your customer service skills? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and just kind of go back on what you said, like the whole losing life thing. Like, what if it was like because don't forget, Florida is
100%. He could have blown
castle
away.
Doctrine, and stand your ground law, 100%. And apparently he got charged with burglary. So obviously they see that vessel as that. So, dude, this could have fucking blasted him, and nothing would have happened.
Nothing would have happened to him. That's the thing. What I mean? Like nothing would have happened.
Especially after the video, came to surface. But what an asshole!
I think the second he stepped on that kid's boat, like he went beyond being an angry Karen, squawking and complaining, and he went to being like, no, this guy has problems.
Here's what's even worse, Bobby. It's not like it was a hidden video. This kid was wearing a chest-rigged GoPro.
Yeah.
And we both have GoPros. When they're running, the lights blinking, all of that. So it's not like he didn't see that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's no way. who even freaking knows, man? Who's to say
Yeah.
he was fucking sober to pay attention to those details?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, fuck that guy.
that's our best. You know, I love when we have headlines that are also FTGs.
Yeah,
that they're just
when they
that
double
bad.
up. So
yeah.
I should say we did have an FTG come in from one of our past guests, and
Perfect.
we're gonna be dropping that one next week because this
Okay.
one just took
Yep.
the fucking cake.
Yeah.
Like this
Yep.
guy is just awful. And you know, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, like there are fucking people who are just unhinged, and
Yeah.
like it is so much more beneficial to yourself to keep as clear a head as you can, you know, and then just de-escalate that situation, you know. And,
Yeah.
because you never know. I mean, that guy, technically, Brock, I would have been thinking immediately, like, this guy's moving closer to me. I wouldn't think he's going to get on the boat. I think he was going to take a shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was the first thing I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
is this guy that much of a maniac? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's crazy, but
But
I'm sure we'll hear more in the coming weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yep.
we'll
his
update y'all.
his lawyer put out a statement, and you know, on Brock's behalf. But I just saw, and I'm gonna read this one because it's a good one. So I
haven't seen this.
I've been looking at Gage's Facebook. I actually reached out to him, sent him a DM, and I had asked him about like if he wanted to give his like firsthand experience. But I was like, I'm sure if there's any legal shit going on, he can't say shit anyway.
Right.
But so his lawyer put out this statement, basically saying that on behalf of the victim Gage from the boating tirade that occurred on April the 1st, it was April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
On April 1st of 2025.
It was all fake, Bobby. This whole thing was
I know,
fake.
right?
It's
Fuck, hey.
staged.
By the hands of Brock Horner, we respectfully request that all threats to Brock Horner's family and associates cease. While no boater, no fisherman, and no person should ever have to endure the experience that Gage had went through and the emotional aftermath that's followed, Mr. Horner's actions will be dealt with through the appropriate channels of the criminal justice system. He goes on and on and on and say some more stuff, but there are folks that are just losing their shit about this, and they're reaching out, and I'm like, dude, that is insane. Now, on top of that, like John Hagens chimes in here and he says, first off, he says, fuck him all the way. And he's right. He goes, to spin off of this, he goes, there's another charter captain that's been getting reamed over this too because of his name and the fact that he is a charter captain as well. His name is Brock Wagner. And because of this douche Brock Horner, he's been getting threats too because of social media idiots. And that's a reality. So Wagner, has been having to do some damage control because of this other idiot with the same first name. His website actually has a post assuring customers he is not the viral idiot. I mean, this will all cool down in a little bit, but talk about an amazing opportunity to market yourself. You know how many people are going to be Googling like, fishing captain in Florida, Brock fishing captain, something like that, and it pops up there, and you just say like, hey,
We're the more friendly Brock, Captain Brock. Join us.
you know? I don't know.
Oh, so I'm on the website, Bobby,
Yep.
for Captain Brock Wagner. Right on the homepage. Attention. There's a negative viral video about a Captain Brock with an aqua boat out of Punta Gorda. This is not me. I have the unfortunate luck of sharing the same first name and I have the same color boat. I am Captain Brock Wagner and fish in the Everglades. So he's not even... and not the one in the video. I am a hardworking family man, and this is affecting my business and family. Unfortunately, we are also getting threats. Please help us to spread the word. Sincerely, Captain Brock Wagner.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That does suck. You know? It really does suck. It's insane. It's insane.
Paint your boat. Paint your boat.
Yeah, paint your boat. And like, there were people sharing all kinds of shit like boat for sale, and it was pictures of that boat and stuff. And I'm like, man, that is crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? So what do we got? What's our other one? There's another big headline.
We got another one to unpack.
Yeah.
We're going to the professional fishing side. Scott Martin withdraws from Bassmaster Elite Series amid DQ worries. So on April 5th, 2025, this is a long one, bear with me. On April, professional angler Scott Martin voluntarily withdrew himself from the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series. The B.A.S. officials confirmed that Martin withdrew from competing in the rest of 2025 season due to a formal protest that was submitted alleging he violated the tour's no information rule.
Yep.
Martin posted a video on Facebook on April 5th explaining his decision, what led to it in some detail, also revealing he and his family had already decided it would be the veteran pro angler's last season on the Elite Tour. Those of you who don't know who Scott Martin is, he is the son of legend Roland Martin. So this protest is in regards to the Pasquanic River Elite Series tournament to be held on April 10th through 13th in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Martin decided to step away from the Elite Series before B.A.S. was able to complete the investigation process. The following statement was posted on bassmaster.com. B.A.S. officials confirmed that Elite Series angler Scott Martin has voluntarily withdrawn from B.A.S. competition for the remainder of 2025. A formal protest was submitted on March 28th concerning Martin. However, he chose to step away from the Elite Series before the B.A.S. investigation process concluded and prior to the administration of an official truth verification exam or polygraph, lie detector, whatever I love how they made it sound like that. Soon before, Martin posted the Facebook video in which he was talking about how hard the past weeks have been on him. The last 30 days have been extremely tough on me, and the last 7 days have been excruciating trying to defend my reputation. The anxiety of the whole matter, everything swirling around my head, it's been awful, Martin said in the video. So here's the deal. I've been officially protested from the Albemarle Sound event that's coming up the next week. Let me explain. I had a conversation with a gentleman 7 months ago, and in that conversation, it started off with a message saying, hey, give me a call, but I can't talk about, that location, but I have a question. This no information rule is a little fucking out of hand. This was 7 months ago, dude.
Yep.
Anyway. When he reached out to me, I simply said, I can't talk about that location on the tournament waters, but I have a question. And the question was, what areas around there outside of the tournament waters are most similar? We talked about the Potomac, Winyah Bay, and he identified a couple places far away that turn with the same type of waters. I asked some general questions in regards to that type of fishing. I asked them about the tides and just some general overall information, nothing specific, and again, nothing in tournament waters. I repeated myself to him several times that we can't talk about the tournament waters, and I made that extremely clear. At the end of the conversation, which was very short, he asked me, hey, do you know anything about the Ochita River, which I don't. I said, I'll make a few phone calls to see if I can help you out. We never talked one more time about that. He reached out to me later on to tell me that his tournament, had been moved in Kentucky Lake. I said, ironically, I'm getting there in a few days to do a sufficient show and do a little fishing. So after my fishing, I actually gave him some waypoints, gave him some screenshots of some places to fish, which was all legal, told him good luck. Don't even know how he did in the tournament. And we never communicated one more time about that or anything on the Eastern fishery. That was the end of the conversation. And also, let me point out this is a guy that I don't know at all. Never met him before in my life. He's not friends of a friend or anything. So there's no connection with me and this gentleman. Fast forward to this past week, where Martin stated he started hearing rumors from friends that he was disqualified from the upcoming event. Martin says he began getting messages from people saying he might be disqualified from the upcoming tournament event because he got information from some local guy. My heart sank. Not cool, Martin said. My anxiety level went through the roof. I'm thinking this is not good. I'll talk to the angler later on in the day and ask what the heck is this even about? I told you I couldn't get information about that. Why would anybody think that? And we had a conversation in regards to that. I'm not sure where the confusion let in or what's going through his mind on this, but it is what it is, and that's not fair. Bassmaster called me shortly after that, asked me a few questions, sent me the protest, and let me explain the protest to you guys. The protest is simple. It's stating that I made an agreement with this angler to barter information for getting information on those waters and trade for the information on Kentucky Lake, which, by the way, weren't even on the schedule yet. So this is a guy that I don't even know. So he talks about that again, talking about the guy. So let me go down. So Martin went to say that he feels he is being specifically targeted with these allegations and went on to explain how and why he ultimately refused to take the polygraph. So he refused to take the polygraph. I'm not sure who's targeting me, but I've got a decent idea what's going on here. B.A.S then said I would need to take a polygraph to clear my name, and I said no problem. So for the last week, I've sat around nervous, confused, a million things going around in my mind, waiting on these guys to show up to give me a polygraph test, to ask me whatever random questions he wants to ask me about some vague comment and some vague protest. This isn't good. The polygraph was opportunely scheduled for Martin to take on Saturday, April 5th, but he ultimately didn't participate because of the doubts about the tester, who he does not identify. He goes on to say he did not take an independent polygraph test. As far as the polygraph test, the Bassmaster wants me to take on Saturday. After a few days of thinking about it, worrying it, he decided he wasn't going to. So this is, I apologize, guys, this is long-winded. So long story short, I mean, I already went through the long part, but he had an independent or his own third-party polygraph done and completed and referenced those comments, and he passed, sent that to B.A.S, and, you know, when apparently they decided that was good enough, he's like, fuck you guys, I'm still pulling out. But, so yeah, so that's where we're at with Scott Martin. What's your take on it? I have a take. I want to know what your take is.
I kind of, so here's the reality of it. I think you nailed it when you said that sharing information rule is a fucking stretch. I think it is way too difficult to manage that rule. I don't think you can do. I think that you can't effectively enforce it. And actually ever know, because polygraph tests are skewed to begin with, you know, at the very minimum. I think it would be a better decision for B.A.S to scrap that fucking rule and say, you guys are all on your own. Do whatever the fuck you're going to do. Because then if somebody's sharing information, well, then somebody else could also share that information. It's just like in a CPR tournament. Like if they allow like a hog trough, right? And somebody is measuring their fish and they're putting pressure on the board to bend it down, and they're making their fish appear longer. Well, there's no way, you can't prove that somebody's pushing the board down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's no way that you could do that. So I think I think my biggest thing would be like, get rid of that rule. Now, as far as Scott being like, fuck you guys, I'm done. I have a different take on it. Like I know that there are people out there that are kind of like, oh, they're looking at it like, oh, this doesn't look good. It makes him look guilty or something. I'm like, I don't think so. I think he recognizes that this is horseshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just the rule just in general is horseshit. Eli Self jumps in. He goes, people are pissed about him not self-reporting. See, he's...
I get that.
He's already self-reported like
it
one
was
time.
7 months ago. He probably didn't even remember it.
In this case, I don't think that counts. That's a long time.
So, for instance... you and I both have gone to the Thousand Island Tackle Shop.
Yep.
Right? They have an event there. That's the St. Lawrence River. And all of them go in there. So basically, and you always have people, locals, non-locals. There's always fishing. The St. Lawrence is being talked about constantly in that shop. Yeah. So what? Are they supposed to go, if they have to get some baits, they got to go in there with noise-canceling headphones, or go walk in and be like, all right, everyone, I'm a fish this tournament. Everyone's got to shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's fucking stupid, dude. That
insane.
Rule is dumb. And I mean, it's sure. I'm sure they could do something, but the way they're doing it right now is just egregious, dude.
Yeah.
And it's Scott Martin has haters, just like Milliken has haters, just like
every angler's
everyone
gonna have
has
their
haters,
favorites, and and their
you know what I
haters.
mean. It's like it is hard to police, Eli. It's a rule you can't police. He
likes the rule. It's hard to police, and that's why I think if you can't police it the right way, there's no sense in having it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like, yes, you shouldn't be on your, like, you can't be on your phone on the lake, like, you know, talking to whatever. But it's like, and I get if you're, I don't know. It's just, if you're going to come up with a rule like that, figure out a way to enforce it adequately, because they are not there right now.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And this whole, like, I understand sometimes we've had the talk about the polygraph test. It has its places and it does it, but just to throw it around constantly, like willy nilly, like, oh, you say you didn't do it? Well, we're going to have a polygraph. We're going to have someone give you a lie detector test.
Yep.
Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And, you know, the other part of it, too, is like, if there is somebody that has somebody out for that, if you're in an organization and somebody has it out for you and you're in B.A.S, you know, and you're like, somebody's got an issue, this is the rule that they're going to throw at you. Why? Because it's so hard to prove you're making it up.
Yep.
If somebody fucking says it, they have to investigate it, you know? And, like, then somebody has to play judge as to, is this an overstep, or is the accusation an overstep, you know? And I think that they're not really necessarily doing the same thing. Actually, to tell you the truth, if somebody is making an accusation, they too should go under a polygraph examination.
Sure.
All parties. Fuck it. You guys want to play this game? Let's play this fucking game. You know? Eli says, this makes fishermen look so petty.
100%.
What? Fishermen
100%.
are some of the most, you know who's the most fucking petty people on the face of this earth? Canadians.
Fly fishermen? Oh, Canadians. Yeah.
100%. And you know what? As a New Englander who is probably, we're some of the most petty people in this entire country. I'm here for you, Canada. I hear you. And you are my people. Truly.
Yeah. It's just in the face of,
I just pissed off.
in the face of all the controversy, like, is that really the hill you want to die on?
Yeah. It's not like,
you know what I mean? Like, is like, guess what? Scott Martin is one of your biggest names in there. Whether, you know, yeah, cool. He hasn't been winning a ton of money lately. They say he's only good in Okeechobee, but he brings in a ton of money.
yeah.
People come to see him.
100%. He leaves on his own. What does that say about your organization?
Yeah.
The son of Roland Martin left your organization.
Yep. So now next year you're either going to see him in NFPL, which that would be because he's an old school fisherman.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see him on the
He'd be a good
NFPL,
fit
but maybe
there.
not, because the money just isn't there as much as it is at B.A.S or MLF.
Yeah. That's true.
So maybe we'll see him in MLF, because you know, you can only use forward facing for one period, but you're definitely get now that I think of it, my guess will probably be he'll try to get into MLF next year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be MLF.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm like, that's the whole thing. I think that B.A.S would be doing themselves a huge favor if they were just like, oh, you want to talk to fishermen? Cool. Every one of your competitors can do the same thing.
Right.
Like, that's ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about the baseline.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as it's fair for everybody involved, you're pretty much, you know, good to go.
But here's the issue, dude. The information rule, it's not just B.A.S. NPFL disqualified oh God, I can't think of his name right now. He was on live. He was actively fishing, and there was like another boat or camera or whatever, and there's like another NPFL guy was smashing him or whatever. And he literally goes like, oh, he's in there. He's like, is he getting them? And him saying like, is he getting them? Got him disqualified for the remainder of the tournament. Like that's like he's just like, oh, is he on him?
You know what we should do? We should do a fucking reel. Right? Where you're on your boat and I'm on my boat and we're fishing like opposite sides of like Oxbow. Yeah. And like I'm starting to get this would be amazing if we could get some fucking
we'll make it happen.
Officials to do it. But if we do it and I'm like, hey, you catching them? And then like the fucking like the SWAT team boat pulls up and like fucking throws me to the ground and fucking arrests me and shit.
Who the fuck do you think you are, you son of a bitch? You're getting intel of a...
Oh my God. My God. Yeah, I just that's my biggest thing is like B.A.S. could make their lives that much easier and not have to deal with all the bullshit and just go like, yeah, cool. Hey, talk to whoever you want. Because you know what? That's part of fishing, you know?
Yep.
The social stuff and the, hey, what are you catching them on? Blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
To me, it's the equivalent of if the NFL, if one player goes, oh, you're using the Under Armour gloves, are they better? Yeah, they're better. Like, I like them better than the Nike ones.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're suspended because you're asking about gloves. You know what I mean? Tell me it's different.
Yeah. You know, most of the country is thinking it's like,
do you deflate the balls by half a pound?
it's a full pound. It's a full pound.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Coming to the water, Navy SEAL style. We gotta be able to put this together. That'd be the most amazing fucking YouTube video.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anglers sharing information. Fucking frogmen coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah. I just, man, that's it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know. And the thing is with Scott is that he has a fairly sizable audience for his social media. He's really good with creating content and like
I love his
engaging
YouTube,
his audience.
dude. I watch his YouTube all the time.
Absolutely, he's absolutely awesome. I mean, the apple don't fall far. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got, and same thing. Like he's out there with his kids and stuff, and like it's awesome. And I do think he's doing a really good job of getting stuff out there. Like I think this article is from Wired to Fish, was it?
This one was Wired to Fish, yeah.
And I think that like he's doing the right thing. I kind of think it's a little fucking, it's a weird flex to be like, I did my own fucking polygraph. By the way, I quit. I kind of think that's
it was a
baller
weird
move.
flex. It was a weird flex.
It's freaking badass. But I mean, who knows? But
yeah,
very, very strange, very, very unique situation. And we'll see what happens. The first time I saw this, I was like, wait a minute, didn't he just like fucking pull out of one specific tournament recently for like a similar situation? He's like, yeah, I said too much. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and it's, you know what, dude? It's like, I'm sure he like he said, he probably has a fucking target on his back from certain anglers. So they're trying to look at ways to, get him kicked or pushed out, and they accomplished it in that aspect. But obviously we're not in the circle of those elite anglers, so we don't know what the actual drama is. But even like Seth Federer, man, he had an interview recently, and he was just like subliminally like talking shit about one of the anglers, and I don't know who it was or anything, but it's like, God, you guys are like that, huh? Like,
that's shitty.
Like they're clicky, dude. You have clicks.
Yeah,
you have
it
clicks
makes sense.
of anglers. You have clicks.
Any group at all, any slice of the population, you get people just click up like that, and it's just the way it is. It's and it can be the worst element of everything. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But and you have a rule like this on the books, and like somebody's going to use it because it's so hard to prove.
Yep.
I'm just saying, this is what I heard. I'm reporting it to you.
100%.
Fucking amazing. Well, let's go ahead. We'll take a short break, guys. We're going to be back with more Jigs and Bigs in just a bit. We got our Just the Tip segment. We got some Gear of the Week. We kind of already threw the FTG out with Captain Brock. But we'll see you guys with more coming up after this. And later on in the show, we're going to review some of the potential names of the newest segment to be added to the Jigs and Big show. And it's a good one. It involves you, the listeners, reaching out to us. And we're going to be putting out a ballot very soon on Instagram and Facebook for you guys to go ahead and vote. And the individual who suggested the name that ultimately wins is going to win a little prize pack from us. It's going to be kind of cool. That's coming up after all this good stuff. We'll see you guys in a bit. Do not go too far.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys, here we are. We're back. Jigs and Bigs, just the tip segment. And this one is a tip for those content creators that are out there that are making fishing content, doing some stuff. And this is sort of a holy shit, I did something recently and kind of learned a little bit. And I want to share that with you guys. Audio is so important when you're making content. You know, we've talked about it before. That's one of the things that, like, especially with, like, it makes perfect sense with an audio-based podcast platform like we have here at Jigs and Bigs. Audio is a big deal. Like, you got to have it sound good. But a lot of people kind of have it play second fiddle when they're doing video stuff. And you get a lot of content that's out there with, you know, smaller channels or that are just kind of getting started. And, you know, it can almost lead to frustration. Let me explain how it led to frustration for me. So when I'm out recording my content, especially when I'm on the boat, primarily what I'm doing is I'm using my phone as a camera for all of, like, the vloggy first person stuff. And I wanted to kind of optimize that audio a little bit. So I had made a change and I got some microphones, wireless mics, really inexpensive ones too, actually. And they made a huge difference, an absolute massive difference in the quality of the audio for those segments of the videos. The issue I ran into, and this happened to be the last video I put out where I was out fishing at the Cape with Paul. And I was, you know, the audio was terrible, the dialogue from my GoPro. And initially I wanted to try to find a way to work this out. And I made a stupid mistake thinking I could use a USB-C plug and all this other jazz. I recently upgraded those mics. I bought a secondary receiver. And this is like more of a traditional receiver that's got a 1/4-inch port on it that will connect to a camera. And I hooked this up to my GoPro. And I got to tell you, it totally added a brand new dimension to what I was recording while I was on the water. And I had gone out, this was that Tuesday, and I brought out this whole rig and I went out and I had fished for, actually I take that back, I took it out on Thursday and I didn't get a damn bite, which sucked. But I would have 100% loved to utilize that video to show off, but there's just no action whatsoever. But what I found was that it opened up another way to collect different content, and that was providing almost like a monologue. And with this specific mic setup, there's 2 mics, so I can have someone in the back of the boat and communicate with them and have the whole thing be recorded on that GoPro footage. So if there's something that I say and I'm talking about throwing a specific bait or looking at a specific, you know, piece of structure that I'm targeting, or where a fish bit or something along that lines, or if I'm just trying to take a video that maybe isn't great but put something in it that will keep people engaged, this is a great way to do it. And so think about your audio in that sense, and you don't have to go buy like these crazy mics or anything like that. The mics I bought for were from a company called Hollyland, and I had seen them on my Instagram feed and on my YouTube feed a bunch. All these ads all over the place, and I was like, you know, the price is so unbelievably low. Like, I'm an audio guy. I am. I pay attention to microphones and headphones and, you know, loudspeakers and stuff like this. I pay attention to these details, and I'm like, I don't want to waste my money on something that's absolute garbage that's not going to hold up or doesn't provide any kind of quality. But I was amazed with how small these mics were, because I was going to pull the trigger on the Rode mics, you know, the bigger ones that you see everybody wearing, the big square ones. And I was going to pull the trigger on them. I was more than happy to. But I kind of feel like the battery life on these is just fantastic, and there's just so easy plug and play. So that's the tip. Like, if you're going out and you're going to create some content, think about it. Think about like, oh, I should use a separate mic to collect this audio when it's here, especially when it's at a weird angle, like how I have on my boat. My camera is mounted to a pole that's behind the captain's chair, and I'm out there 300 days a year.
He's the best goddamn.
but it's
Western Mass fisherman you'll ever meet in your life.
It's right behind there. So it's like just by me being on the front casting deck, my voice is going out toward the front of the boat. And even when I turn around and I look at the camera and I say something, it just doesn't sound great. But I went back through this footage, and you guys are definitely going to see more videos that are going to have this in here. So that's why I'm not too worried about you seeing this footage that I had recorded or not. But I went through the footage and I'm like, it is amazing how much more improved the experience will be for the consumer of my content to be able to actually hear this stuff here. And I think I can actually provide a whole lot more value, in what's going on, other than like, oh, here's a fish, here's me casting. I'm doing, I didn't catch anything here. Let's string together a bunch of casting bits here to show time went by. I can throw something in there and check in as I'm fishing. I'm Bobby Roast Beef. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But I mean, Joe, like you too, like you've been using some gear for your video stuff.
Yeah. So I also use those Hollyland mics, and I like them. I've almost pulled the trigger on the DJI ones a couple times, but it's like, I finally got the position, everything right with the Hollyland one. So I'm like, these are fine. You know what I mean?
And I will say there is one feature with the DJI ones that, and the Rode ones as well, that is very nice, is the ability for them to record on board. Like you can record individually on that mic. So if for some reason something disappears,
which happened to me recently,
and it can, if that happens, like I totally get it. But like, You're talking about like an expense of a few $100 to get into those mics for that feature. Right. It's like you got to weigh what it is that you want to do, and there are other like non-professional names that are out there that have some stuff. But like what I was amazed to learn some of the stuff that Hollyland makes, like wireless video options and things like that. So there's stuff from my business that I might lean into with them anyway, but. And I think you actually have different mics than I do. I've got the Lark M2s. I think you've got the more updated ones.
Yeah, I have. I don't know the actual like the model number, but yeah, I mean, I like them. Like you said, the battery is great on them. I have the two different ones with like the charging pack and everything.
Yep.
So, but another reason why the DJI ones kind of came across my radar, and you kind of mentioned it, where they have that onboard recording.
It is nice,
and it's good for me because I like to I run two different cameras, so I can when I'm editing, I can swap those cameras.
Yep.
I swap those views and still have the same audio.
And sync the audio,
the audio. So,
although I will tell you, Joe, syncing audio in CapCut is simple.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's a nightmare because I haven't done it yet.
Dude, it's so easy. Like,
really?
Stack the clips and you're like sync audio, and it's like it just does it.
Really?
And it's not necessarily always perfect, but like if you take and mute the video clips, it's like it's awesome. Like, and if you zoom it way in and you're like, all right, cool. I set it like there. You're like, okay, I can line that up, and we're in business. It's pretty good.
Perfect.
It's pretty good.
Perfect.
Let's go. Let's see. Well, we got a couple of questions here actually regarding this. Cheryl Bentley says, I always struggle with audio. I definitely need these tips. Are they lapel clip-ons? So the ones that
mine are.
Yeah, Joe's are clip-ons. Mine are a little bit more unique. It's a standard mic with a magnetic back, and it's got a magnet that is already, when it sits in the case, they sit together. So you can take this magnet and go right underneath your clothing, and then it'll just hover there. But it also comes with, but wait, there's more. It comes with a clip that is also magnetic. So you can just attach it to the back of that magnet and clip it on anything. I've done that actually on my hat, and I find that it works great for collecting the audio that I want. The other nice thing is that by putting on the underside of your hat, you can guard it a little bit from the sun. And also, if it does rain a little bit, you get a little bit of coverage there. I'm a little concerned about the receiver on the camera. That's a whole other ball of wax. It also comes with these little lanyards that have a little magnetic disc on them. It looks like a pendant, and you just stick the mic right on there, and you can adjust the height to wherever you want it to go. I've recorded actually some videos, not even videos, but I've recorded interviews for the show. The one that I did last week with Zek, that was using those. You guys probably heard the difference. Like, it doesn't sound like this. condenser mic that I'm using when I record, but it definitely gets the job done. And for a video situation, it's pretty fantastic. And then Eli says, how's the mic do just isolating your voice? Here's the thing, Eli. It has noise cancellation, which if you absolutely have to utilize it, it is highly effective. It does kind of have a little bit of an effect that seems to go over your voice. Like you can tell that there's some processing there. So like I wouldn't use that if you were going to try to record a Grammy Award winning album. But like for the sake of creating content, it's pretty badass. And what's cool is with the ones that I'm using, it's one button. You can turn that noise cancellation on or off based on whatever. So like if you're in the middle of recording something and a truck pulls up and it's idling like crazy and it's right there, you can go ahead and turn it on and just do a quick 3 count and then do your next, whatever that line of dialogue was, just redo it with that isolation. It works pretty well. I've actually been kind of amazed with it, but and there was one spot where I was on the boat and there was somebody on the bank like running a piece of equipment, a generator or something like that, like somebody in a house, like starting some type of I'm guessing it was a generator, running it there. And I looked back at that, and I again, I'm a little bit of a purist. I don't like to run any noise cancellation. I just want to know how the mic does on its own, and it was great. My voice cut right through. You could hear it in the background, but to me, that's nat sound. That's just like natural sound of the environment. So sometimes having that in there is pretty good. I've had videos last summer too where I remember I was fishing up at Stockbridge Bowl, just crushing them. And I was in front of this one house and I was getting bite after bite after bite. And there was a bunch of landscapers cleaning up this yard. And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like, all this audio is going to be shit. If I had this set up then, oh my God, it would have sounded amazing. It would have been great. In fact, I was even talking with some of the landscapers, and you probably could have gotten more dialogue out of that because I definitely would have wanted to include that. These dudes were hilarious. So yeah, something to keep in mind. That I guess is the tip, if there is a tip. But yeah, if you're creating content, pay attention to audio. There are solutions that are out there. Get creative. And if you have a question, feel free to reach out. If you have a question, I'm more than happy to try and advise when it comes to some of this sort of stuff.
Heck yeah.
Now, don't drop the soap. We're about to get the shiv.
Okay, gearheads, it's time to talk tools. Jigs and Big's gear of the week.
I've been so excited about this.
New bait, Bobby.
I love it.
Oh, look at this thing. We are talking the Fish or Die Bait Company Shiv.
I love
the Shiv. So let's talk about the Shiv. So the Shiv is I'm actually going to read you a little something.
Okay.
And just kind of give you the details. If I can click into it. There we go. So this is co-designed with MLF collegiate champion and Bass Open angler Dylan Fogarty, who's awesome, by the way. Great kid. The Shiv delivers undeniable action for anyone utilizing forward-facing sonar. All you haters. Yep. This was designed essentially specifically for forward-facing sonar, but has so many other options. So let me see here. So its unique deep V belly responds to the slightest rod movements, creating an unmatched rolling action as it slices through the water column. The groove body tapers into the parallel flaps near the tail, generating subtle hydrodynamic drag to keep the bait perfectly horizontal when paused. Capping off the design is a longer, straight tail that triggers bites and rings the dinner bell for any nearby bass, just like an inmate sleeps easier with a shiv tucked under the mattress. You'll fish with confidence knowing our shiv is in your arsenal. I fucking love Taylor for
knowing
that,
that our shiv is in your arse.
So these techniques that this is designed for: Demiki rig, hover rig, drop shot, and one thing they realized while testing this, it makes an amazing chatterbait and spinnerbait trailer.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I bet you it'd be an amazing trailer on a chatterbait.
Yep. So it's 4.25 inch, so 4.25 inches. But I mean, for you jig heads here, we're just gonna look at that bad boy here. And I mean, I've seen it in the water. It is just insane. I can't wait to Demiki this thing. I will be doing that this weekend. And when that Fish or Die box came in, I knew that they were gonna be in there, and they got some awesome packaging here with a little cartoonish photo of Dylan on the front.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man. So
that's badass.
Go to fishordiebaitcompany.com, the Shiv, and go check them out. Get yours. There's a ton of colors. This one is Napalm Stench, as it's called, but it's essentially the perch color.
That's badass. So, that's a good looking bait. I mean, I love a subtle like Demiki rig. Like that's a go to for when I'm BFS fishing, man. It's like that will just get eaten.
Yep,
that's badass.
Yep,
I freaking absolutely grab a shiv and you'll be shanking bass all day. I love that.
That's right.
Fucking A. Grab a shiv. I'm gonna have to fool around with those. Oh, I'm curious. When are they available? Are they available?
Oh, they're available now. Okay. They're available now on the site.
I'm gonna have to take a peek because I could totally get behind seeing that on the back of as a trailer for a straight tail trailer. Like any type of that straight tail presentation is just it's badass.
Yep.
You know, and it's not super bulky, and it does. It's got that little tapered belly.
Yeah.
To give the
and
rolling.
it's like, and I'll see if I just put it back in here, but I'll see if you can actually see it, Bobby. So they mentioned how, it has those essentially the stabilizer fins.
Yeah, I did see
to keep it. Yeah. So you can see them right there, and that keeps them.
We're gonna put you right here.
Yep. Ensures,
little wings.
Boop, boop. Yep, right there. So that keeps it, that horizontal, and that when you stop it or whatever, helps keep that tail horizontal. But I mean, you can see how much that tail moves. I mean, apparently I'm just like pre-diabetic and shaky right now, but
you've got Parkinson's and it's just
a little Parkinson's kicking in. But
watch out there,
yeah.
Michael
So
J. Fox.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit.
That's okay.
Cheryl Bentley says, there we go. Looking forward to fishing that. And then John says, I bet that would work on some finicky saw guy as well. You damn right it would. Hell yeah.
Go check them out. Get yourself a bag. You will not regret it. Everyone, I promise.
Yeah. That is
these things are insane, and it's another bait that I just was able to kind of see it come from literally almost like a sketch on a napkin to what we see today. That's a cool thing about being a part of Fish or Die. I get to see that, so it's great. It's awesome.
I love it. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take a quick break, guys. We're going to come back for round number 3, segment number 3. This one you're going to want to stick around for because not only are we talking about there's one little detail that I left out with my week. I want to make sure I get in there, but there's also a little bit of info that you guys, I think, are going to want to pay attention to if you're a longtime listener of the show or you've ever had a question for us on the show. We're going to be talking about the names who made the cut for the final ballot of the new segment of Jigs and Bigs. Don't go too far. Much more coming up right after this. Oh, yeah. And here we are. It's a final segment of Jigs and Bigs. This week, we have a couple of things that we want to go through, but I did mention how I had gone out and I had fished on Thursday, and I had fished a spot, Joe. I had gone to, there was a pond that I wanted to fish in the Sturbridge area. I think I mentioned to you where I was going to go, and dude, I got there, and there was no parking. It was jamming.
You know why?
The fucking trout. Yeah. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I got all the way down there. It was tough to maneuver to get turned around and then go back out.
That's a weird lot.
It is a tough lot. So I was like, all right, no sweat. I was like, what am I going to do here? Do I want to go and hit? And again, like I was out there kind of targeting some trout. That was sort of my goal. That and smallies. I was like, that's kind of going to be my bread and butter. Let's go ahead. We'll send it. And I got over to, as I left the ramp, I was like, you know what? I think I think I'm going to send it over to a specific brown trout area that works pretty well. Dude, what a frustrating day. I was out there for 4.5, 5 hours.
The place near me, kind of?
Yep. Yeah, I was out there for 4.5, 5 hours with like everybody else and their mom. Like it was jamming. Launched the boat. The dock is in over there. And
is it?
It is already. Yeah, it is in over there. Because we had that conversation with you and myself and Alec regarding an incident with an angler.
Right.
And it was very similar to the incident in Florida, which was kind of odd.
Yes.
And it was funny. I remember pulling up and I was like, they just said that like the docks were in. They must have just put them in.
Yeah.
So I go and I launch the boat, everything's good, and we're good. I get out there and I'm just kind of covering water. And there were so many bank anglers right over by the beach.
Yep.
Like an army. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm going to give them some time. So I go further in the back and I'm just trying to put together some kind of a pattern, something to figure out. And on Tuesday, I was getting them to bite on a micro jig. They didn't want anything to do with that. It wasn't even getting to follow, nothing. I was seeing fish belly to the bottom in like maybe 5 or 6 foot of water, like nothing crazy.
Yep.
And I would drag a bunch of different presentations right past them. Nothing. But I'll tell you one thing that I did throw was the juvie craw from Great Lakes Finesse.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What a cool little bait. I don't love the jig heads that I got for them because I got theirs, but the only size they had were 3/16. It's not the worst, but like that sucker, like it does this nice little spiral when it falls.
Yeah. Yep.
And it is freaking badass. It is absolutely badass. It is so natural and so subtle. That craw is so small. I'm excited that I have them for where the fuck am I going?
St. Clair.
Yeah, I'm excited for using them at St. Clair. I think that they're going to play real well. Just something cool to have on hand. I was like, that's pretty badass. But I did get over this one spot after some of those bank beaters were done. I'd gotten over this one spot, worked my way over there. I got 3 brown trout follows, and they didn't want anything. I was there. I was there throwing a finesse jig head, or what am I saying? A finesse swim bait on a ball head jig, right? I started throwing a Kitech in probably my go-to color. They didn't want anything to do with that. So then I was like, all right, let's just... I threw a drop shot to see if maybe it was less about chasing and more about it just being, nope, didn't want anything to do with that. I threw a tiny finesse jig, like one of the light 1/8 ounce Giltech ones for that slow fall. Didn't want anything to do with that. And I said, I'm going to go back to that finesse swim bait and see what we got. Let's change out colors. I threw the black Big Joshy. I threw the, what was it? The show special Big Joshy. I got a follow on that one as well. And I threw, what else? There was another color that I threw that was really interesting. They called it Prototype, and it was like a dark blue back with a chartreuse chartreuse belly. I threw that, got nothing. And there was one other thing. I think it was the Bronco Blade. I also got a follow on. And that was actually the first thing that I got a follow on from a brown, like just coming up deep and was like, bye. I just turned it off. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So yeah, that was my Thursday. It was a mess. It blew me away that we had the weather that we had, going on. But I'll tell you what, on my way back from this body of water, I was like, I needed to be back at a specific time. It wasn't Thursday, it was Friday. So I'm coming back on Friday and like I get behind a school bus on, I think it's 148 right there.
Yep.
Fuck that school bus. It took me 15
dude, you got Tantascwa High School right there. And that,
Yes. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I'm like, it took me 15 minutes to get from there to Route 20. It took me an hour nonstop to get home.
And then you get stuck on that intersection of 148 and 120 where the traffic gets backed up like crazy there, too.
I got lucky there. I had to sit through one cycle of the light by the time I got there.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning out in out that way, and I got stuck there for a little bit. Yeah.
It fucking sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's fucking terrible. So, we got to talk about some shit here that I think is great. So it's been a couple of weeks now, and I've had this list going on just kind of on my notes on my phone. And I shared it with Joe last week after I took what I thought was the very last suggestion. And Joe, do you think I should read all of them and then read the ones that we are involving in the ballot? Just to give everybody a shot of like what was put out there.
Sure.
So they can hear them. All right. So there were 13
You
names.
got my choices, right? That saved?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All
right.
They all saved. So we have 13 names that were suggested. And to those of you that reached out with DMs or calling and texting the Jigs and Bigs hotline or emailing us or any of that stuff, like, thank you so much. This is pretty badass. So we got 13 that made the official cut. And I'm not going to read out who suggested these because there were some anglers that put out, or some listeners that gave us multiples. But so we have all 13. This is what it looks like. We have one called The Live Well, Uncle Frank's Fishy Sack, The Beef Box, Jigging for Knowledge, The Multi-Mailing System, The Slow Roast Segment, The Beef Sack. We got The Drop Shot, Beef Pickle Sack. We got The Cooler, JDM Just the Message, The Dude Shoot, and Mailbox. And that Mailbox is MALE. Now, these are the ones that, so what I did is I marked off with a series of emojis how I felt on them. Was a checkbox or an X. These are the ones that were unanimous that we agreed on, and this will be the final ballot. So the Live Well, then Jigging for Knowledge, then the Beef Sack, then the Cooler, and JDM Just the Message. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names will be added to the ballot, and we're going to put them on social media all over the place. We're going to put links on stories, and you guys can go ahead and vote. I'm going to put a ballot together on, I think, SurveyMonkey, and it'll just be real simple. Like, just fill out that, vote for your favorite segment, and or vote for your favorite segment name. I have all the names of everybody in there, except one of these names came in through a Spotify comment. So I am going to reply to that comment if they win, and we're just going to have to sit and wait until they get back to us. I don't know if they're going to get a notification or what's going to happen, or maybe they'll hear it and then, get back in touch with us. But everybody else, I think we pretty much have all those names together. So this could be pretty cool. I don't know. What do you think you have one, Joe, that you think might win?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I do have one.
All right. Why don't we keep those tight to the hip until we get the winner and see, and then we'll reveal afterwards which ones we thought were going to be the winner. But I think this would be cool. You guys will see those links shortly. I won't, unfortunately, don't look in the description of the podcast right there. They won't be ready. I haven't set up the survey just yet. One thing I do want to mention, though, and I probably will put a few other questions in the survey, too, just to kind of like check in with you guys, so we can get a little bit more info. But this is going to be the big one right here. So we'll go ahead and we'll select, that winner. And, we might even double down, in fact, and pick a random winner from the survey. Like, just to hook up with a little something, too. Like maybe a Dark Horse Tackle gift card. That might not be a bad idea. I kind of like that idea. It'll be a good one. There was something else I wanted to mention before we wrapped it up, or was there? There very well may not be. I am stoked about St. Clair. We're under 2 weeks away. The planning is happening. Things are going. I am researching what I can bring over the border for like food items, because I realized I was gonna make a ham for Easter. We're going to be out there. I was like, why not? Make a ham. But I want to know if I can bring one out there, because I do. There is one specifically, one farm that I like to procure some pork products from, and I think that might be where I would like to go. Otherwise, if it's not a great idea, I think I might just instead just get something while I'm there and just live with it, make it happen. But friggin' badass. What about you? You got anything you want to mention? Anything?
No, great show. We were long-winded today. We had some good conversation.
We did. I mean, Brock kind of helped us.
Brock helped us. Scott helped us.
Scott Martin gave us some shit to talk about.
We were able to unpack some drama, and that was awesome.
Yeah, we were. So, guys, if you're interested in Jigs and Bigs, follow us on social media. Follow American Vet Fishing and Jigs and Bigs on pretty much all the platforms. We both have YouTube channels. You can check out some really, really great content on both of our channels. Go ahead and do that. All of the links for all of this stuff, by the way, are in the description of the podcast, as are links to get hooked up and registered for the Jigs and Bigs Scavenger Hunt series and the B.A.S Slot Limit Tournament, which is happening on Saturday, April the 19th. It's a nationwide slot limit style tournament where you catch as many fish as you can possibly get in the boat in a 8-hour window that fit the 12 to 17 inch slot. The winner will ultimately win some cash. It's a whole lot of fun, and the demand has been pretty crazy. People have been asking for us to do this, and we're going to do one of these every single month throughout the season. April to October. It's going to be an absolute blast. Again, it dawned on me this morning that I'm traveling, number one, but with my travel schedule, I can't pre-fish St. Clair at all. I'm going to be putting line in the water, not knowing a damn thing. Now, like, Todd and I are doing the right thing. Like, we're looking at maps and we're, like, throwing some waypoints around and shit and putting some stuff together. But, like, this tournament, I mean, these tournaments for me are just more about the fun of doing it anyway. I'm wondering maybe if me not taking it so seriously, like selecting a body of water and just going and sending it and whatever happens, might be the way to do it. But I love it. Well, guys, have yourselves a great one. We'll be back in 7 days with more Jigs and Bigs goodness. I am working on getting some guests on here and getting a few things set up. I've actually been playing phone tag with Josh Shrenko a little bit, trying to get him scheduled for an interview, and we'll make that happen for you. I'm sure that's absolutely going to be going down. But do yourselves a favor, folks. If you like the show, go ahead and tell your friends all about it. We appreciate you guys so much for checking out the show and supporting what it is that Joe and I are doing over here. Again, all of our socials are available for you to subscribe to. Links are in the description of the podcast. Do yourselves a favor, tag us in your photos too. We love to show a little bit of support, throw some likes and some comments on your content. If you're out there catching them, we absolutely want to know about it. So have yourselves a good one, everybody, and we will see you in just 7 short days. Like we always say,
tits and ass, smoke some grass.